sister organization, the International Monetary Fund, are very special organizations. They are sitting on top of the world's wealth, which was put into a secret account, and it has more gold than anybody knows about. And it is cloaked in secrecy. The bankers do not own that money. It's held in benefit for humanity. The World Bank and the IMF are listed on a special agreement that was signed in 1950 about that. Assets, it's gold. It's more gold than people know about. It's over 1 million metric tons of gold. And the World Bank and the IMF have a special role to play, making sure that that money is spent to the benefit of humanity.
So where's the gold? A lot of people, some people believe that the gold in Fort Knox has disappeared. That's been in question for many years. Congressmen have attempted to get an audit of the gold in Fort Knox. So 1 million metric tons of gold is not something you can just hide. Where would you say that that gold is being stored?
400,000 metric tons are in the Central Bank of the Philippines. There's over 200,000 metric tons in Union Bank of Switzerland. And some of that gold is buried securely in the Philippines as well. Some of it is held in various banks, but the bulk of it is in the Philippines.
So the World Bank holds the note on that gold?
No. It is in a special trust account that was set up by Ferdinand Marcose, and the authorized signatory is a German banker lawyer by the name of Wolfgang Struck, who also lives in the Philippines.
So how do the people get the gold back? If it's their gold and it was taken by these bankers, how do we receive it?
That is the question. And they're just sitting there illegally and refusing to relinquish it. Part of the problem is that this gold is cloaked in secrecy. But in the last month, Wolfgang Struck has been publishing all of the documentation. So it's there for people to see. We have the originals. And people just have to make sure that the banks do what they're required to do, which is release the world's wealth.
Contact Phoenix Journal Review. Independent confirmation of the Philippines gold.
Throughout the Spanish occupation of the Maharlika, members of the talaga and Italiano clan have been visiting Europe since some of their relatives were English and Austrian. From 1866 to 1898, Prince Julian Macleod Italiano, who became title holder of OCT 01-4 in 1864, had also been frequenting the Vatican. In 1934, under Pope Pius XII, the Vatican negotiated with a member of the Filipino royal family, the Christian Italiano clan in the Maharlika. An agreement was reached that 640,000 metric tons of the Italiano gold would be lent to the Pope. This was part of that gold accumulated by the Southeast Asian Srivijaya and Majapahit Empire during its glorious reign of 900 years. In 1939, two members of the Italiano family and a Roman Catholic priest, Father Jose Antonio Diaz, brought the gold from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, to the Vatican. After doing this, Father Diaz went back to the Maharlika and resided in Cabanatuan City. After World War II, he facilitated the safe return of the 640,000 metric tons of gold from the Vatican to the Maharlika. Manuel Acuña Rojas, a relative of the Acuña and Italiano clan, then a congressman, and Bishop Enrique Sobrepena Sr., in the presence of attorney Lorenzo Tanyada, received the gold in Manila. Having gained the trust and confidence of Father Diaz, the Italiano clan made him the main negotiator and trustee of their gold. Father Diaz, in turn, hired the services of attorney Ferdinand Marcose, then a highly recommended brilliant young lawyer, having attained notoriety when he successfully defended himself in the Nalundasan case in 1939. The Italiano clan paid commission to Father Diaz and attorney Marcose in gold, 30% from the principal of 640,000 metric tons. In 1949, The two richest men in the world were Father Jose Antonio Diaz and attorney Ferdinand Marcos. Between the two of them, they legitimately earned and owned 192,000 metric tons of gold. Ferdinand Marcos withdrew their share of the gold from the central bank and minted it, RPCB. Sometime later, Father Diaz and Marcos brought their gold to Switzerland, in the Swiss Bank Corporation in Zurich. The remaining 400,000 metric tons of Italiano gold is in the third-floor basement of the central bank minting plant in East Avenue, Quezon City. Gold for gold, dollar for dollar, this country, the Maharlika, is the richest country in the world. During a talk show in a U.S. TV the week following the bombing of the New York Twin Towers, President Bush was asked this question, which is the richest country in the world today? With a smile he said, the Philippines.
On April 9, 1973, Marcos said, "My earthly goods have been placed in the custody and for the disposition of the Marcos Foundation, dedicated to the welfare of the Filipino people."
After 5 years, ang laki na ng pinagbago. Kabila ang ginagawang kalsada, tulay, eskwelahan, ospital, at mga naglalakihang proyekto na hindi pa nagagawa sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas. Ngayon pa lang sa panunungkulan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, masasabi na nga ba na ito na ang golden age of infrastructure? Panahon pa ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos nang huling hangaan ng Pilipinas pagdating sa infrastruktura. Dito nagawa ang NLEX, SLEX at ang San Juanico Bridge na kinilala sa buong Asia. Matapos ang panahon yun, wala nang masyadong ingay na narinig sa mga nagdaang mga pangulo sa larangan ng infrastruktura. Build, build, build ang isa sa mga pinakatinutukan ng Pangulong Duterte simulang nang maupo siya noong 2016.
Nakita ko po yung political will ni Presidente. At yun talagang kailangan natin para ma-implement ang mga proyekto ng Pilipinas. At para maging developed nation ng Pilipinas, kailangan natin ayusin ang ating infrastruktura na matagal nang pinabayaan. Hindi naman nawawala na may konflikt ka ba? Sumasok ako sa kabinete dahil first time ko po. Pero nakita ko naman napaka-importante talaga ng trabaho ng DPWH at napakalaking effect kung may implement po yung build program ni Pangulong Duterte.
Ang mga bagong infrastruktura ay pinaniniwala na magpapalakas sa ekonomiya ng bansa, paglikha ng trabaho at maiahon sa kahirapan ang mga Pilipino.
Alam mo, napakalaki ng impluensya ng ating mahal na Pangulo dito sa Build, Build, Build program. Simula pa lang nung kampanya ng 2016, ang paulit-ulit na sinasabi ng Pangulo na kinagagalit niya sa sitwasyon ng ating bansa at sa buhay ng ating mga kababayan, yung pang-araw-araw na hirap na dinadanas ng mga kababayan natin. Yung daily struggles nila. Kung maalala nyo, noong 2016, iba ang mga problema natin noon. Problema natin noon, yung MRT na sisira, yung traffic, grabe, di ba? Gagdag pala, yung lahat na lang na kala mo napakaliliit na bagay na kaya naman solusyonan, hindi na susolusyonan ng gobyerno. At dahil doon, yung pang-araw-araw na pumumuhay ng mga kababayan natin, talagang napakahirap. Na isa sa mga pinaka-importanting magiging solusyon natin doon sa pang-araw-araw na hinagpis at hirap ng mga kababayan natin ay build, build, build.
Malaking pondo ang nailaan ng Pangulo sa mga proyektong pang-infrastruktura. Tinatayang aabot ng 8 trilyon mula 2017 hanggang 2022. Laking diferensya sa budget kumpara sa mga nakaraang Pangulo ng mga nakalipas na dekada at ang pondong ito ay masasabing pinakamalaking pondo sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas.
Infrastructure project. We will make a few years the golden age of infrastructure in the Philippines to enhance our mobility and connectivity and thereby spur development growth on equitable in the country. In other words, we are going to build and build.
Unti-unti nang napapansin sa paligid, sa kabuhayan at sa buhay ng mga Pilipino ang build, build, build. Mula sa transport at mobility, water, urban development, renewal, pati na rin sa disaster resilience projects. Hindi rin nakalimutan maging ang information and communications technology at power. Daan-daang pag-asenso after 5 years, a PTV pre-SONA documentary.
Supposed to represent the President's most ambitious infrastructure plans. Yung unang hamon sa amin ni Presidente was to decongest EDSA. And you know what that problem meant for everyone. So nung kinausap niya si Secretary Villar and the entire team, sinabi niya kailangan by 2022, EDSA is a totally different experience. So siguro, since day one, we've been working to decongest EDSA and kailangan siguro we start with the numbers. Ilan ba yung naging intervention sa EDSA? And then that's when we realized that EDSA is a 90-year-old road, that it was built during the 1930s. That the last extension of EDSA was only in the 1970s when it was extended to Taft. And then after that, hindi na natin ginalaw yung EDSA. The problem is, dumami yung population natin, it exceeded its maximum capacity by almost 140,000 vehicles. So alam namin, to be able to decongest EDSA, then we have to take out 140,000 vehicles out of EDSA at the minimum to bring it back to its original capacity.
Malaki ang hamon ng Pangulo lalo na at madaming problema ang kanilang kinakaharap. Maraming infrastructure ang kailangang ayusin at maging ang sistema sa ahensya. Ayon kay Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Mark Villar, una niyang tinutukan ang sistema ng gobyerno.
Opo, kaya yun ang una, yun ang nung pumasok ako bilang secretary ng DPWH, tinutukan ko talaga yung sistema. Yun, kasi para ma-monitor mo yung ganung karaming project. At any one time, may 15,000 projects ng DPWH. At para ma-monitor mo yan, kailangan mo talaga ng system. So dati po, mano-mano yung pag-monitor ng system. Ngayon, meron na po tayong software na monitor sa mga geotagging, sa mga electronic monitoring systems. Lahat po, kompletong technology na ginagamit natin para ma-monitor. Kaya na malaki ang naging improvements sa implementation ng mga projects at naging tumas sa accountability para sa mga operating units namin.
Dahil sa sistemang ito, naiiwasan ang mga ghost projects sa pamalaan at ayon pa kay Secretary Villar, marami ang naban ng mga construction company dahil dito.
And the good thing about DPWH is that we've mobilized drones already for monitoring. We have geotagging technology. So in fact, before a contractor is able to ask the government to pay for what it's able to accomplish, it has to submit a geotag photo. And because of that reform, we are able to completely get rid of ghost projects within the DPWH. So ngayon po, zero na yung ghost projects in DPWH.
Sa pagsisimula ng proyekto upang balutas ang problema sa matinding trafiko, agad na ilatag ang mga decongestion program para sa EDSA.
So yung EDSA decongestion program natin was conceptualized and was formed. Ito po yung master plan with 25 projects, including Skyway Stage 3. A lot of people are asking, was Skyway Stage 3 accomplished with the same alignment that it was approved before 2016? Hindi po. In fact, it was realigned in 2018. So, was the alignment of Skyway Stage 3 different? Yes. Iba na yun. When we entered the picture, yung accomplishment rate natin for Skyway Stage 3 was only at 8%. Yung overall accomplishment was about 11%. Maraki yung binuno ng administration to make this project a reality. But what's good about this is Skyway Stage 3 is only one of 25 projects. Pauna pa lang ito doon sa pangako ni Presidente, and we can assure you that by 2022, it's going to be a whole different ballgame.
Laking ginhawa din sa mga motorista ang pagkakaroon ng reconnection agreement.
This is the first time that there's an interconnection agreement. Kasama din po yan dun sa memorandum of agreement na pinirmahan when we changed the alignment. So now you can interconnect SLEX and NLEX completely bypassing EDSA and C5 because of the interconnection agreement. Meaning, regardless of whoever owns the concession agreement, the master plan will be interconnected. Because to us, it doesn't make sense. Laban talaga yan ni Secretary Villar. It doesn't make sense that you have to go down to Skyway and then go up again to NLEX just because it's managed by different concession. It doesn't make sense. And ultimately, what we want to make sure is that it's convenient for our motorists. So, yun yung pinaka-importante po sa amin.
Proud ako sa yung mga master plan projects na natapos ng DPWH. Katulad ng EDSA Decongestion Program. Nung pumasok kami at pinresent namin yung plano namin na decongest EDSA, maraming hindi naniwala sa parang halos pinagtatawanan lang kami nung pinresent namin yung plano ni Presidente na i-decongest ang EDSA. Nung sinabi niya na 5 minutes, talagang wala talagang naniwala sa 5 minutes na yan. Pero tingnan nyo ngayon, 15 minutes ang balintawak kami from pagalit po sa Makati. At malaki po na bawas na pagkit namin na napakalaki ng pagtaas ng average speed sa EDSA nung binuksan yung Skyway at pati yung bridges, yung Kalayaan Bridge, yung Estrella Pantaleon Bridge, yung Harbor Link, lahat yan nakatulong sa decongestion ng Metro Manila. So yung dating, yung problema na wala, parang hopeless na tayo, naging totoo na yung EDSA decongestion.
Ilan sa mga pinakamalalaking proyekto ng Build projects ang Luzon Spine Expressway Network o LSEN. Kung dati ang Ilocos to Bicol ay umabot ng 20 oras, ngayon, maaari na lang itong makuha ng 9 na oras via 42 SLEX TR5, 1,101 kilometers.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment. And press the bell button na rin po and para lagi kang updated sa ating video. Bye-bye and God bless.